second screening of the evening. We go from younger generation, You're the Worst on FXX, to older generation on FX with Married. Married came to us last year from creator Andrew Gurland, and it examines a marriage, a recently married couple who have kids and are trying to balance work and life and those daily challenges, and the couple really love each other, but they're very distracted, and it's how they go about dealing with the distractions and trying to keep their relationship vibrant. It's a show that we really love, critics really liked a lot as well. Season 2 is going to begin this summer, July 16th on FX. It's going to be paired with Sex and Drugs and Rock and Roll. It stars Nat Faxon and Judy Greer, Brett Gelman. We have a new series regular, Sarah Burns, also Jimmy Slate. We're excited about this season, and so you will be the first people ever to see the season 2 premiere episode of Married. So try and keep the spoilers limited, and we're proud to present Married. Again, Season 2 begins on July 16th, and now I'd like to introduce our panel, starting with our outstanding cast. We have a new cast member, series regular. She wasn't in tonight's episode. She joins the season in Episode 3. Please welcome Sarah Burns. He plays AJ. Please welcome Brett Gelman. And our stars, Russ and Lena. Please welcome Nat Faxon and Judy Greer. He is the creator, executive producer, writer, and showrunner. Please welcome Andrew Gurland. And our moderator tonight is a writer in his own right. He's written for Super Ninjas on Nickelodeon and also Supernatural on the CW. He is the co-creator of the Nerdist Writers Panel. Please welcome Ben Blacker.
Thank you, John. Keep clapping for John Salzberg. Yeah. Do it loudly. Hi, you guys. This is a funny show.
Oh, thank you.
Nice one.
Thank you.
You're doing it.
Yeah.
How many of you on this panel are married? Not to each other, to other people.
Well, in a way. Not legally, but, 6 years.
That counts. That totally counts. Sarah, I'm sorry.
Yeah, it does.
Oh,
It's not just a piece of paper. It's a state of mind.
I was married, and I'm no longer. Thank you for bringing it up. Happy Friday.
You may answer this question as well.
Okay.
Starting here with Andrew,
Yes.
how does the marriage in Married reflect your own marriage?
Well, my wife is here in the audience.
Should we ask her to
I
leave?
should be careful how much I am honest about that question.
Fair enough. That explains a lot. I look forward to that episode. Nat.
It's surreal how much it represents my marriage in ways that sometimes I'm not totally comfortable with. But it does feel a bit cathartic to sort of deal with all the issues in my marriage on camera, and so that the world can then judge me and my marriage and my life. No, it's very eerily similar to my life. It truly is.
Have you had conversations similar to the ones that we have seen you have on the show?
Yes, I had the exact conversation with lube with my. No, I did not have that conversation.
Maybe not this episode.
No, but yes, I strangely enough, and this feels like a setup, but yesterday we were shooting in LA, and I was talking to my wife, and she was telling me how our kids were just being a total pain in the ass and really difficult and challenging, and she was tapped out, and they were just disrespectful, and then I said, I'm sorry, I'm getting called. They're to set. They're needing me. And then I walked into a scene where I talked to my fake daughter about how I'm never around and that she needs to get her shit together because I am working too much. And so sometimes it's scarily, can you say scarily?
Yeah.
You can. It's a thing, right?
In Texas,
Judy
you
votes
can.
no.
In Texas, you can. Okay. Yes, it's eerily similar to my real life.
Very
yeah.
funny. Judy, what about you?
No, it's nothing like my marriage. But I don't have little kids, and I've only been married a couple years. And my husband's helpful when I need him to be. And
Judy's still in the honeymoon period of her.
Yes.
Yeah.
So much so that when the prop people litter our house with like crap and toys and food, Judy's like, no, this would not happen in my house. And I'm like, oh no, it would happen. Oh, it would happen.
Yeah,
Dirty it up. Dirty it up.
when you guys watch this season and you look at the set, like, notice what a mess our house is. And it drives me crazy. And I'm always like, no, don't put any more crap around on the floor. And both Nat and Andrew are like, no, that's what our houses look like.
You lose control over your space, and that's a big issue with the show. Is one of the inspirations is to be able to hold on to whatever piece of your own identity that you can, even after you're in a long-term marriage and you have children, and what kind of pieces you can hold on to, who you used to be while still being married and in a family.
I want to talk about that, but I want to finish answering this question. But no, I think that's very interesting to me, and I want to dig a little deeper on it.
No, you brought it up too soon.
We had a plan.
Yeah, we had a thing.
But let me ask you this, Judy, just by way of follow-up. Are you still too happily married to see this as something that may happen?
No.
Fair enough.
It's starting a little bit.
Judy
Starting.
oftentimes touches me on the show, and Andrew and I both are like, you don't do that. That's not. No. I always touch my husband.
Like,
No, you haven't been married that
in 10 years,
long.
I'm never going to touch my husband again? Like, is that?
No, just not affectionately.
You'll be making a fist.
What about you,
And a
Brett?
face.
I feel that, well, I don't have kids. We don't have kids, but I think I relate to the aggressive honesty between Russ and Lena, and I think that's one of the things that keeps them going. I don't think that that's a cynical thing or two people mistreating each other. I think that's two people who deeply trust each other a lot. So. And I don't really look at it as a cynical portrait of marriage or relationships. I look at it as a very positive one. That two people can be fully who they are for as long as they've been together and still really be there for each other. So
Yeah,
I like
and
that
I
a
think
lot.
there's also so much comedy in that emotional honesty.
Yeah, and that's where, one of the things that I love about the show so much is that all of the comedy comes out of that emotional honesty.
Yeah. Sarah,
Yes.
what went wrong?
Oh, well, I started focusing more on my hip-hop career. I was working on my brand, and it got in the way of me being a present human being in my relationship, and things fell apart. But my fragrance is coming out in 2017, and it's pretty tight. And so if everybody could just step up to CVS and buy it, I'd be okay, because I'm alone.
When does your character start to appear on the show in this season?
I think by
And
the
who is she?
second. Her name is Abby, and she she's also a winner. And no, I'm fine, guys. It's cool. I have cats, and I cook. But
This is the point where we leave and there's just a spotlight on you.
it's gonna be my one-woman show where I'm like, and that's when I knew I was alone, and the lights changed. But
This is actually an intervention. And you can't see, but all of these people, and they all flew here.
What a great Q&A.
Family.
Until that actress had a nervous breakdown on stage.
We have your ex-husband on the line.
Martin.
Hi, Sarah. Having a great time, baby. What are you up to? Yeah, goodbye. Just wanted to remind you we're divorced.
oh.
Andrew, how did the development of this show go?
You know, I had done another pilot for Showtime, and when it didn't get picked up, I took it very personally. I went to a dark place, and I projected all my own unhappiness onto my wife and our marriage, and it was not cool. And I started reevaluating everything in my life. I started counting how many more times I was going to have sex before I die, and the numbers did not look good. And I just was like, I should start to explore some of this like anxiety about, okay, how much time do we have left? How much intimacy do we have left? What can we still fight for in the face of like work and kids and being sick of each other?
Did making this show help?
It did. It did. So much so, at first my wife was like, I really don't want you, I don't want you talking about this. I don't want you exploring this every day. And now she works on the show. Yeah. So we get to see each other every day.
It's great. Yeah. So let me ask you, and then I will kind of open this up to you guys as well. In creating these characters, how do you make them not just stand-ins for you and your wife and for people you know? How do you make them characters who are not you? And likewise, as you guys approach these characters, how does that collaboration start to happen?
That's for me?
You first.
Okay. Well, it was very easy with Nat. I mean, the second, I met, the first time I met Nat, we had a cup of coffee, and we had obviously so much in common. But I started adjusting the pilot script for who Nat is, and just what made me laugh about him.
And what was that? How was that different from what you had on the page?
Stupidity.
I would say I'm more of an asshole, and Nat is more of an idiot. I would say.
A fine distinction.
I'd say that's very true. That's very true.
I second that.
Fail upwards,
comment.
guys.
100.
Fail upwards.
100%.
They're coming out with a spin-off. It's called Asshole and Idiot.
And my fragrance will actually be featured prominently in that first episode, so if we could all just log in, that would be great. Thanks.
Judy, what was your part when you first saw the script? And I will ask both of you how that started to change once you became that character.
Well, I don't feel like my character changed a ton, did it?
It did quite a bit. No, because I didn't really know Judy that well,
What panel is this?
I didn't know Judy at all while we were writing the first episodes, and I got to know her over the shooting of the first season. And after the season, we started hanging out, and that was really helpful. I was able to bring that into the writers' room, and just getting to know her and some of the ways in which Judy spins is different than the way my wife spins, and I was able to kind of work that into the writing.
All right.
Yes.
And I feel like this part was written for Brett Gelman. Is that the case, or did you become this part?
Well, unfortunately, I relate to a lot of things about AJ.
Do you? Seriously, like what?
Well, he's somebody who likes to take things to the utmost extreme, and I think that I tend to do that sometimes in my own life. I'm just, I think he's really hot, and I'm a really hot guy, so just, when he walks down the street, people are like, whoa. Check him out, man. It's what happens to me, No, he's somebody who really likes, there are people who let things roll off their back in life. Both me and my character are not one of those people. I like to grab it and, roll around with it on the floor, then punch in the face, and then say I'm sorry, and then
I was gonna say, don't forget about the apology.
Yeah, let it punch me.
That's fucked up.
Yeah.
The other thing I'll say about the character and Brett is some people can recognize they have a feeling, and this feeling is going to go away. And I should probably not explore it because it's not helpful. Neither Brett nor AJ are like that.
But I fully believe in the benefits of exploring the feeling. I don't regret it at all. It's made me the man I am today, and I'm very proud of myself for being here. You know, it's great.
We're lucky to have you.
Thanks. No, it's really amazing. I mean, obviously, thank God I'm not like that, but. And no matter what Andrew says, everybody was joking. Anything that was any likeness to me to this character is a complete joke. Don't take it for face value, okay, guys? See some people texting in the back. You know, I hope you're not tweeting that Brett Gelman is a difficult person. No, but you know, I feel I relate to every character on the show. I think that every character really has some deep human qualities, and that you don't want to admit that you have, you know. And yeah, I don't know. Though a lot of the times too, like we've all become really good friends, so we're hanging out and things get blurred.
Oh yeah, no, the chemistry is apparent. I mean, the fact that whether or not you all like each other, certainly you all enjoy working together. All of you here and the people who are not here who are on the show are all highly skilled performers and comedy performers and improvisers as well. I'm sure you are asked this a lot, but is there improvisation in the show? How much is script? How much is discovered on set?
I'll let you guys answer that.
It's all improv, all our words. Nothing's written down. No.
We just
It's
show
mostly
up
scripted.
and people give us a scarf and then we play with it for a while and then the dialogue comes out. It's quite nice.
It's mostly scripted.
We shoot these episodes very quickly. They're in 4 days. We're all on practical locations, so we're running around all the time. So we don't have as much time to improvise as we would like.
There's no bathroom.
Yeah.
Often there's nowhere to go to the bathroom.
Do you have some demands for season 3?
That's it. That's it.
Bathroom.
I'd like
would-
food that didn't make me shit blood. I don't know. It's
I don't
kind
even
of
care
a big
about
request.
that.
Couple
I
things.
just
One,
want a place
Brett,
where
I've
I
known
can
Brett for
shit the
years, and
blood
he was
out.
always shitting blood.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that was a positive blood. This is a very dark, negative.
And it was after a one-night stand that we had.
Sure.
Of me and you.
AJ and Brett are so
That's
much
actually how
alike.
Brett
As
got
I
the
said,
part.
yes, exactly, a positive
That's how
blood.
Brett got the part.
That's one of the ways.
It was the good blood.
That's one of the ways you're so like your character.
Yeah, I sleep with people for roles. Doesn't matter. And I enjoy it. Huh? What do you think about that?
Tweet it.
Tweet it. Brett Gelman. Brett Gelman loves the casting couch. Can't get enough of it.
Brett Gelman, shit, divorce. Sarah Burns, divorce, fragrance.
2016, guys. Dark blood. Whatever. I don't know.
God, aren't we a lot of fun guys? Come on, aren't we a blast?
What did you guys discover as writers and as actors in season 1 that you wanted to do more of for season 2? How is season 2 different?
Well, there was such a rush to get season 1 off the ground. I mean, from the time the show got ordered for a series, we had 6 weeks to get it up and running. So I don't remember any of it and why we decided to do anything, you know? So it just went so fast. But I know that in season 2, we wanted to do more parenting stories. We wanted to do stories about how the way your parents treated you affects how you are as a parent. I mean, those were some of the things I remember.
Yeah, I think also in the season, I think there are more episodes probably where the two of us are on the same team grappling with certain issues or situations, whereas maybe in season 1 we were more at odds with what was, you know, happening. So I think there's probably more of that.
Yeah, I feel like I had a lot more scenes with you this year.
More scenes in bed, you mean?
Ew. But yes. But
And
fighting in bed.
What'd you say?
I felt like I had more scenes with Nat in bed. If you know
This
what
is
I
a
mean.
lot of full frontal nudity this season.
There is no
Super
full
hot.
frontal.
Super
well,
dick.
Nat takes his shirt off,
I do take my shirt off.
but only because that one T-shirt was so ugly. I wouldn't let him wear it. and so then he had to be topless. And you're welcome.
And I
ladies.
wear nipple.
He's got a
Judy-
surfer body, ladies.
Judy wore nipple
Hey, guys.
covers a lot, and so in solidarity, I also wear nipple covers.
We're all wearing nipple covers tonight because it's Friday. It's Austin.
We read that. is
We're
what
keeping it
y'all
weird,
do.
right? That's what we got to do here. I'm sober and celibate, the character, and and then we fall for each other. We have like a romantic thing that's a lot of fun, right?
I love it because last season I wasn't on the show and this season I'm on it. So I'm like, hey, that's rad.
There's a lot more for you to do this season.
Sarah's much better this year.
I know. I used to just show up and they would like put me through hair and makeup and then I'd like hang out and then I'd like eat a bunch of granola bars and then they'd be like, you're wrapped. And I'd be like, peace. And so now I'm actually showing
Guys,
up.
acting is easy.
It's super cool.
So easy, just like, eat some chili, shit blood, say some lines,
All in a day's work.
Is that going to be the
Yeah,
motto
but,
for this year's season?
But it's fun because for me, because AJ still does all this crazy stuff, and you realize it's not because of drugs and alcohol. It's just that he's, extreme.
That's character development.
Yes.
What?
That's character development.
Yeah.
Do you guys have questions? Let's get some questions from you all. Not all at once.
They're too terrified.
Everyone's like, please.
Do you have questions about
bring me my
any of
family.
the shows that you saw tonight? Is there an audience microphone? No? All right. Just stand up and yell.
Yeah, I was just wondering, there's some talk about your co-marriage being the inspiration of the show. Before the show premiered, I saw different critics about just like the shrew of the wife, and it seemed like a couple wasn't really in love. I love the relationship of marriage. I was curious if you meant to write it as a positive, uplifting relationship or more a negative.
I don't know if you guys could all hear him, but this handsome gentleman over here said that he
Called me a shrew. That's all I heard. Is that I'm a shrew?
He's not wrong.
He said that
You're a dick.
he read a lot of reviews of the show that said that the marriage did not seem so loving, that the wife seemed a little bit shrewish, and and he didn't feel that way. And how do I feel about that? I think they were written by people who were not married. I think everybody who wrote that was not in a marriage. They didn't know that when you've been with someone for a long time, you talk to them a certain way, you joke around in a certain way, and it doesn't mean that you don't love them. I believe that all those reviews, those critics had a very unrealistic fantasy version of marriage that's been put forward on TV for a long time that's bullshit and unattainable, and I think that this show is realistic. So what I say is fuck them.
Now we're not going to get a Critics' Choice Award, asshole.
Did you know that Judy wrote one of those episodes?
And I am a
Guys,
shrew.
we're really uptight, and we like to think a lot before we say anything.
Salzburg was going to tackle you. You understand that?
But I just love that. That's what I love about the show, and that is just such an important thing for all areas of life, not just marriage, but being able to see that, yes, it's not easy, and things happen, and the sooner that you can embrace that and see the love through that, the healthier you'll be, but that also, at the same time, that is extremely hard to do.
Yeah.
It's very difficult to do.
I think that's been there from the beginning. I mean,
Yeah,
there's
just 'cause you
there's a
call
connection
someone-
between the two of you
I
that
think,
is evident.
Like, you can call your husband an asshole. It doesn't mean that you don't love him, that you wouldn't die for him. But he's probably being a total fucking asshole.
Yeah, I mean, fighting is good, guys. I don't know, whenever somebody is like, fighting is bad, it's like, no, fighting is good. If you don't fight, there's going to be one big fight, and then you're done.
Hello, Sarah, this is your ex-husband. I'm not sure why you didn't listen to this advice.
If I had this panel 4
remember
years
when we
ago,
never fought? Remember?
we got along so well, and then there was that one big fight.
Yeah,
and
you
then-
came home and he was dressed like Macho Man Randy Savage, and it's like, let's go.
I was like, I'm getting a mediator.
All right, anyone
It's
else?
fine. I'm okay. I have cats.
There's time for a couple more questions. There's someone over here. Yes? I saw it before.
She's terrified now. She does not want to raise her hand back up.
Don't worry, I'm not going to marry you. It's
What
okay.
I will add to that is just that my wife and I love each other very much. We give each other a lot of shit. Judy gives us all a lot of shit on set. We love her so much. That's how we play with each other, and that's the show. And you know,
Why are you so angry about it?
I don't know.
They all just enjoyed it.
Yeah, good.
You guys enjoyed it, right?
Yeah.
Wait, one more question, right?
All right, yes.
So you clearly you've written this from place of experience.
We stand.
So how important was it to you, or y'all coming from it as actors, or you casting it, to come from a place of marriage or having that experience to like, be able to relate to the show? Do you think that was important, like coming from that background?
Will you repeat the question?
The question, as I understand it, is how important was it to incorporate personal experience into the show? And you know, for me, for anything that I write, I'm always trying to take something that's real from my experience or somebody that I know or something that I felt. So it was really important to me, and I feel like all the actors are always drawing on that, whether it's from the material or their own experience. I think it's important to all of us.
I'm usually cast in action movies and stuff, so
Total lie.
I wanted to stretch, and that's...
You mean as like the guy taking the coffee order in the beginning of the movie?
Uh-huh. That's cut out of the movie.
Yeah. No, that's me.
No, I would say that it was very helpful to have that experience. Not necessarily a requirement for the part, but certainly a benefit in having a personal life that sort of matches up with what you're doing creatively. For Judy, it's just easier, right? Because that means you don't have to.
I don't have to do any
Do much.
preparation. I don't have to work that hard.
Let us wrap up now, starting here with Andrew and then going down the line, giving Sarah the last word. What are you watching on television these days? What are you excited about or inspired about or talking to your wife about or your writer's room about?
I'm really into Amy Schumer right now. I just saw the last episode, and there are a couple of sketches that killed me. Trying to think what else. I mean, I watch Game of Thrones right away, all the time. Michelle, what else do we watch? I don't know. Yeah, Brett was on the season finale of Mad Men. It was incredible.
Right?
Those are the ones that come to mind.
Those are good answers. Nat?
Mostly my reel.
Sure.
You know, just to see the range and stuff, the action movies and stuff that I do. No, I watch a lot of sports on TV. Aside from sports, I also watch Game of Thrones, mostly just for the nudity, and I watch everything on FX because they let things go for so many seasons and seasons and seasons.
Seasons
worth
and
the investment.
seasons.
Thank you, John. You said it. I didn't. So I'm keeping you to that.
It's binding. If you say it at ATX, it's binding. Judy.
I followed Mad Men, so I watched that. It was like the first series I ever watched completely till the end. I love Louis. I love Archer. I know I'm on it, but I really love watching it. It's really funny, and I'm excited about sex, drugs, and rock and roll. And I like Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Are you sure?
I got nervous that wasn't the name of it for a second. I had like a full senior moment. Like, what if that's not? But I think it's really
You got it.
funny.
You got
I
it.
love Joe Latrulio. He is the greatest.
Sure. Brett?
I watch old episodes of the Rockford Files, and I print out the scripts and I say James Garner's lines along with them. I love everything everybody's mentioned. I really love Getting On. I think is an incredible show. And what?
He was
Oh,
worried
yeah.
that he didn't say it.
Yeah, I love that show, and I love the comeback too. I thought was just amazing. And yeah, those are
correct answers.
I'm like the only person who hasn't watched Breaking Bad or Game of Thrones, which is dumb.
I
but
haven't watched either.
Okay, let's do it like a thing because
Okay.
I'm like the person
I know.
who doesn't get it.
I know. I mean, there's death.
The whole
I saw an
world.
episode where a guy got half of his head blown up.
Well,
That's all.
I stopped watching Game of Thrones because they were gonna like kill these wolves, and I was like, oh.
And then I just like checked out, and everyone's like, they don't kill the wolves, and I was like, I don't. And so
they don't.
I'm gonna go back. But I love Louis. Like the last season I watched, I was just like, God, this guy is amazing. His head blows up in so many ways that like I want my head to blow up. If that is a thing, I don't know. It's a cerebral thing I'm saying right now. I'm working it out. But I'm really looking forward to Sex, Drugs, and Rock and Roll because Rescue Me was so good, and I like consumed it. And so I'm very excited about watching that. And I love Transparent.
Yeah,
And it was
amazing.
transcendent,
Yeah, oh
like-
my God, forgot that.
Oh, I just loved it so much. And then 2.5 Men. You know, very, very cerebral. Just kidding. What did you say?
I get my Shonda on every Thursday. I got to admit it. I do.
Yeah.
I love I love a good Joe Morton monologue. Like, you are a boy. Let me tell you something. I make the decisions that keep this little world that you think you live on rolling round. And if you lose me, you lose the very notion of your own sanity. So yes, pull the trigger, boy.
Andrew Gurland, the cast of Married. Be sure to watch it on FX. Thank you guys for being here. Thank you all for being here.